Hello, welcome to another lecture. In this lecture we will see sampling theorem. Sampling theorem states that a arbitrary continuous time signal can be completely represented by and recovered from knowledge of its values of samples at points spaced in time provided the signal is sampled at twice its maximum frequency. Let us say there is a signal xt. For sampling this xt, we are multiplying this xt with train of pulses pt, which is summation k minus infinity to infinity del t minus k ts, and output will be by t, which is xt multiplied with pt. Now we know that Fourier transform of yt by omega will be 1 upon 2 pi x omega convolved with p omega, because multiplication in one domain is always convolution in another domain. So this p omega, we know the Fourier transform of train of pulses is 2 pi by ts summation k minus infinity to infinity del omega minus k omega s. So replace this p omega here, we can get by omega s 1 upon 2 pi x omega convolved with 2 pi by ts summation k minus infinity to infinity del omega minus k omega s. 2 pi will cancel out, it became 1 upon ts summation k minus infinity to infinity x of omega minus k omega s. We know xt convolved with del t minus t naught is x of t minus t naught. So this is by omega. This by omega is spectrum representation of sampled signal. Let us see graphically that what is going on. Let us say this is xt, some signal which is unbounded in time domain. So in frequency domain it will be bounded omega. This will be x of omega. Let us say its maximum frequency is omega m, and we are having a pt which is train of pulses. This is our pt from minus infinity up to infinity with amplitude 1 and time period ts. This is 2ts, 3ts and so on, minus ts, minus 2ts and so on. And its Fourier transform is p of omega, which is again a train of pulses. This is again a train of pulses from minus infinity to infinity, omega s. This is 2 omega s, 3 omega s, minus 3 omega s, minus 2 omega s, minus omega s. Its amplitude is 2 pi by ts. And we know that yt is xt multiplied with this train of pulses. This xt multiplied with this pt is yt. It means yt is just samples of this xt with a time difference of ts. So this is our by t. This is our by t. but Ts, 2Ts, minus Ts, minus 2Ts, and so on. This is our by T. What is our by omega? By omega is 1 upon 2 pi x omega multiply with p omega, which we have seen that this by omega came as 1 upon Ts. Let me write this here. Y omega is 1 upon Ts summation k minus infinity to infinity x of omega minus k omega s. This is our y of omega. So, as we have seen, this is omega x of omega. So, x of omega minus omega s and x of omega minus k omega s summation k minus infinity to infinity, we can write as this x of omega. This will be shifted in this way and it became periodic with omega s. This will be omega s. This will be omega s minus omega m. This is omega m. This is minus omega m. This is 2 omega s. This is minus 2 omega s. Its amplitude is 1 upon Ts. And this is our by of omega. As we can see here that this omega s minus omega m should be greater than equal to omega m. Omega s should be greater than equal to 2 omega m. This is what sampling theorem says, that its sampling frequency must be greater than or equal to twice the maximum frequency of the signal. So, there are three cases. If omega s is equal to omega m, then in this case, when omega s is, let us say omega not omega, let us say omega s is 2 omega m. When omega s is 2 omega m, the spectrum meets each other. So an ideal low pass filter is required to recover the original message signal. Since ideal filters are not possible, so omega s equal to 2 omega m is ideal sampling, which is not possible physically, because in this case the spectrum meets each other. So an ideal low pass filter is required to recover the original signal. Since ideal filters are not practically possible, because they are always unstable. So to recover the original signal, practically omega s should be greater than omega n. So practically omega s should be greater than omega n. For ideal filter, this transition band and number of poles must be infinitely large, so practical realization of ideal filter is not possible. if omega s is less than omega m, then there is a problem that is called aliasing. So let us see this aliasing effect. If omega s is less than 2 omega m, then the spectrum overlap each other, which result in complete loss of information. This situation is known as aliasing effect and should always be avoided. It is known as undersampling also. If omega s is less than omega m, 2 omega m, it is also known as undersampling. In this case, the spectrum overlaps each other, which results in complete loss of information. This situation is known as aliasing effect. So practically we should take omega s greater than 2 omega m, but if omega s is much greater than 2 omega m, which is message frequency, then it is called oversampling. So we should avoid this oversampling also, because when signal is sampled at much higher rate, then it is known as oversampling, and the advantage of oversampling is that reconstruction of original message signal is easy, but the main disadvantage is wastage of precious sampling frequency. Advantage of oversampling is that reconstruction is easy, but disadvantage is wastage of precious sampling frequency. Now let us see Nyquist rate and Nyquist interval. So minimum sampling frequency is known as Nyquist rate. Nyquist rate is given as omega s minimum, which is 2 omega m, and Nyquist frequency, this is Nyquist rate, and Nyquist interval, maximum sampling interval is known as Nyquist interval. Maximum sampling interval is known as Nyquist interval, and Nyquist interval is given by Ts, it is 2 pi by omega s minimum, means 2 pi by 2 omega m means pi by omega m. Let us see one question. Let us say xt is sinc 200t plus sinc 600t. Find Nyquist rate. So we know that sinc t can be written as sin pi t upon pi t, or sinc at can be written as sin pi at upon pi at. So this sinc 200t can be written as sin 200 pi t upon 200 pi t. So we know that sin at upon pi t has Fourier transform as a rectangular pulse. Sin at upon pi t has from minus a to a, so it will be having from minus 200 pi to 200 pi, and its amplitude will be 1 upon 200, and sinc 600t will be sin 600 pi t upon 600 pi t. Again it will be having from minus 600 pi to 600 pi with amplitude 1 upon 600. So now we have to add these both, and then we can see that our signal xt will have x omega as in this way. This will be 1 upon 200 plus 1 upon 600. It will be 1 upon, this will be from minus 600 pi to minus 200 pi. This will be 1 upon 600, then this is 200 pi to 600 pi. This is omega, so this is omega m. So Nyquist rate will be 2 omega m, means 2 into 600 pi, means it will be 1200 pi radian per second. So this is how we can calculate Nyquist rate. Let us see one another example. Let us say xt is the sinc 200t multiply with sinc 600t. Let us say this is multiplication. So multiplication in one domain is convolution in another domain, and we know the Fourier transform of both of these, which we have calculated just in previous question. This is for sinc 200t, this is sinc 600t. So convolution of two rectangular pulses with unequal width, we know it is a trapezoidal. So x of omega will be, and we know its range only. We have seen a property duration of convolution. So we know this is from minus a minus b to a plus b, which is minus 800 pi, means minus 600 pi minus 200 pi, which will be minus 800 pi, to 600 pi plus 200 pi means 800 pi. This will be 400 pi, and this will be minus 400 pi. So we can see this will be omega m. So Nyquist rate will be 2 omega m, means 1600 pi radian per second. So this is how we can calculate Nyquist rate. Let us see one another question, which is 1 by 2 sine 300 pi t plus cos 500 pi t. Now we know when we will calculate its discrete time Fourier transform, its omega m will be, because of this, when we will calculate its Fourier transform, its omega m will be defined because of this cosine, because it is having larger frequency, so it will be at omega m. Maximum frequency of this xt omega m will be 500 pi, and because of this 500 pi, its Nyquist rate will be 2 omega m, means 1000 pi radian per second. Let us see now band pass sampling. Band pass sampling says, let us say there is a signal which exists from FL to FH, and its bandwidth is FH minus FL. So we can see here FS minimum will be varying from 2FH upon K to 2FL upon K minus 1. This is what band pass sampling says, and this K is any integer 1, 2, 3 up to integer part of FH upon bandwidth. So let us see one example based on this band pass sampling. Let us say FH is 51.2 megahertz and FL is 51 megahertz and bandwidth is 0.2 megahertz. Then we can see that integer part of FH upon bandwidth will be 256. So Fs minimum will be 2 into 51.2 to Fh, which is Fs minimum, and it will be 102.4. And for band pass sampling, Fs minimum will be varying. Okay, band pass sampling.